Did the Obama administration train and arm the ISIS militia who are now invading Iraq and menacing Baghdad? That's an interesting question, and one that we'll explore in this video. We all know that the Iraq policy of Obama and Hillary is just falling down around their ears. The pivotal mistake was the refusal of the Obama administration, with the concurrence of Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, not to leave a residual force there in Iraq. Because if we had that, we could have stabilized the situation and prevented the current turmoil that threatens now to engulf the country in conceivably a year after year after year civil war. But one of the ironic things here, and deadly things here, is that it's very possible that the arms that the ISIS rebels, ISIS stands for Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, that the ISIS rebels are actually using weapons from the United States and were trained by American personnel. The weapons that they're using, in many cases, may well have come from the Benghazi arms cache that we were shipping through Turkey into Syria in a covert attempt to arm the Syrian rebels. Now, we claim that aid, which they still haven't admitted came from Benghazi, but we claim the covert aid we were giving the Syrian rebels was for the moderate forces, the secular ones, the pro-democracy forces. But we know that the vast bulk of the fighting was being done by al-Qaeda, the very basis of the ISIS rebels who are now invading Iraq. And they most likely got their hands on a large portion of those armaments, and they're traceable to the United States, either through the aid we gave the rebels in Libya or through stuff that Gaddafi had that put into that stockpile. And then secondly, the World Net Daily reports, WND, check it out, it's a very good website, reports that there was a training base near Adana, A-D-A-N-A, Turkey, which was an Air Force base, and was used by the United States to train and arm insurgent forces in Syria. And very possibly many of those forces are the exact same folks that are now invading Iraq. This is kind of the Iraq-Iran war flipped back on its head. In that war, we supported Saddam Hussein against the Iranians. Then we spent our whole time trying to topple Saddam Hussein. Now we're in the position of having supported the Syrian rebels, and now we're trying to turn on them and stop those very same rebels from invading Iraq. This is Mideast policy twisted into an entire pretzel. Now, the long-term impact of this Iraqi invasion for the United States is very, very profound. First of all, it's plunging the second leading oil exporter in OPEC into a civil war, which may make all further oil from them impossible. Already the price of oil is close to $120 a barrel, 20 bucks more than usual because of the strife in Iraq. And if in fact this resolves into a civil war between the Sunnis and the Shias control most of the oil region in the south, but the pipelines run through the central region that would be under the control of the Shias. That could send the price of oil even higher. And most importantly, you could have a caliphate state. In fact, you could have two of them. You could have one that represents the Sunnis and another that's sponsored by Iran that represents the Shias. And the one thing they both have in common is their determination to attack us. And the very goal of the anti-terror policy of the Bush administration, to stop terrorists from becoming joined with its state, with a sovereign entity. Because once the terror group, I've always drawn the metaphor that the terror group is like an HIV virus in the bloodstream. It doesn't make you sick. But when it attaches to a cell, when it takes over a nation state, it uses the powers of that nation state to project power internationally, and you have 9/11 reborn. That's what I think we're facing. Thanks for watching.